Relax. And let your breathing fall into a nice, easy rhythm. So you're inhaling in through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. And concentrate on your heart as you're breathing, like you're breathing in and out through the heart. You might want to visualize like a white smoke or air coming in to the heart and back out. Facilitates heart-brain coherence. The body starts to relax, the mind relax, your nervous system gets balanced. And just let yourself settle in. And check in now with your mind, your body, your spirit. How are you feeling this morning? What's going on? What's running through your busy brain? Notice what you're noticing, but endeavor not to be attached to any particular thing. But if your spirit wants you to know something, wants you to pay attention to something, take note. The divine is always speaking to us in every moment of every day, guiding us, supporting us, leading us to our highest and best. Sometimes those messages come through the body. Sometimes our emotions, our spirits. And so we trust and heed those messages. Relax. Rest beside the calm waters that the divine always has at our disposal, waiting for us to open our arms to the peace, the unconditional love that is this life, that is God. I leave you peace. My peace I give you. This peace is our true north. It is our essence. Just let yourself embrace it. Give yourself permission to love and be loved. The divine is with us, flowing through and as us, always, in all ways. The divine speaks to each of us in ways that we understand as individuals. Trust and let go. knowing that all is good and all is well, because all is God. Let yourself be at peace. Bless the place where you now stand. No matter what's going on in your life at this moment, you have everything you need to walk that path with strength and power and confidence. With divine authority. For you are an infinitely powerful spiritual being. And so now, from a place of peace and confidence and a knowingness that all is well, we now sing our centering song, Spirit's Prayer. This is a reading from the book Angels Sing in Me, the James Dillett Freeman Memorial Book. So James Dillett Freeman, for more than 70 years, worked for Unity as a poet and author, as a minister and as a director of education and prayer, and as a spokesperson for Unity to the world at large. And this is the selection called Revelation. Give me a revelation, Lord, the young man cried in despair. Spring bloomed, and he rejoiced to see spring's beauty everywhere. Spring green on every bush, spring birds, spring flowers in the air. But give me a revelation, Lord, he cried. Love filled his life and blessed him with good, pleasant friends and a fair, gentle wife, and a gift to lift men's hearts and bring peace to their inward strife. But give me a revelation, Lord, he cried. He strove to do as well as he knew how the work that he was fitted to, and to what truth he thought he saw, he labored to be true. But give me a revelation, Lord, still constantly he cried. How often the Lord have wished to draw the youth aside and whisper gently in his ear, dear child, how I have tried. And now.
Good morning. The inspirational moment, How to Use Your 12 Gifts from God by William Walsh. Love is a spiritual gift, and it may surprise you to know that it is not an emotion. It is often confused with emotion because it is expressed through the feeling nature, just as emotion is. But love is a spiritual quality which is drawn upon to settle emotion and to balance the feeling nature. More often than not, love is surrounded by emotion to the point where we have confused it with emotion. Therefore, there is the mistaken idea that love includes turbulence and stress. This is untrue. Emotion can include turbulence and stress and can accompany love, but it is not actually the divine gift of love itself. You may ask, how can I tell whether or not I am experiencing genuine love toward a person or an emotion? There is one way you can always tell. Ask yourself whether or not you have any conditions on your love towards this person. Must they have a certain manner for you to love them? Must they love you in return to receive your love? Do you require that they believe a certain way for you to love them? In other words, if you have conditions on your love toward a person, it is not love. It is emotionalism. Emotionalism results in what could be called conditional love, and this is merely the seeking to have one's own needs met. If your love is based primarily on having your own needs met, it is not the love of God. It is your personal love based upon emotional needs. And it is important to emphasize at this point that we all have emotional needs. It is not wrong to seek fulfillment of these needs from the personal love of another. Just don't confuse it with divine love, the spiritual gift that God has implanted within you. And our affirmation we'll repeat 3 times. I endeavor only to love with an unconditional love, the love of God. I endeavor only to love with an unconditional love, the love of God. I endeavor only to love with an unconditional love, the love of God.
Okay. Audacious. It's an adjective. It means extremely bold or daring, recklessly brave, fearless. Synonyms are venturesome, dauntless, intrepid, courageous. Also, forward or impertinent, shameless, unabashed, lively, unrestrained, and uninhibited. So audacious is my word for the year. And I wasn't like, ooh, when it first came to me in January, but it was something I knew I really wanted to step into. Not like step into. But an energy that I knew was the next level for me. And I do believe that Spirit always is calling us to next level, like the unconditional love that Glenna was reading about. I love more unconditionally now than I did a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, certainly 30, 40, 50 years ago. And I'm only 51. Yeah. That is so funny. You didn't have to laugh that hard. So everything is on a progression. We are always in progression. And I knew that for me, that I was still holding back in some ways. That there was a part of me, that there was something within me that was yearning to be expressed, and I kept holding it back. And I knew that because there are times when I'm in these meetings with ministers and somebody would say, okay, can we open with prayer? Who wants to volunteer? And then I'm not raising my hand because I'm like, I don't feel like, I don't want to. And there's all these other ministers, and I don't want to pray in front of them, and who knows, they're going to think my prayer is good. I don't know. So I would just stay silent. But every single time that prompting comes, and I'm in one of those Zoom meetings, sometimes twice a month, if not more, I would hear it again. Why aren't you volunteering to pray? Why aren't you doing that? And so I started volunteering to pray. And that was the first thing I heard. And then I would hear it on Sunday mornings when I'm singing and then giving a message. Why am I holding a little bit when I'm singing? Why do I do that? Why am I not more expressive? And how could I be more expressive? And what is that? What holds me back from being fully into my unlimited potential? And to discover what that might be in the moment and be free and know that Spirit is carrying me through that discovery. And so this month, I started doing open mic nights. And, man, I tell you what. So I was a wreck. The first afternoon I decided to do it, and I knew I was going out. In fact, I was thinking of calling my friend. Well, actually, it wasn't an open mic night. Friends of mine who are musicians were performing, and they said, come up and do a song with us next time you come out to hear us. And I thought, sure. And then that afternoon came, and I'm like, oh, God, no, why did I say? And what can I text them? Because I need an excuse. I'm going to text them and tell them I can't make it, and something came up that was really important, so I can't come. I just can't come. So I'm just sitting there. So I'm sitting on my couch, and it's like an hour before I need to get in the car and go. So I'm trying to prepare my excuse, and I'm thinking, oh, Really? Are we doing this again? This is so not audacious. What are you doing? This is your word for the year. What are you doing? What are you thinking of? And all I was thinking of is fear. That's all I was doing. And my body was in fear. It was just a mess. And my stomach gets upset when I'm nervous or in fear. So I'm wondering, what should I eat? And I got problems. I got my low blood sugar. I got to think about that. And it was just all there, and I was all over the place. And finally, I had to come to Jesus with myself, as they say. And I said, I'm going to trust Spirit, and I'm just going to go and experience this and see what it's about for me. For me. And so I got ready. I got in the car. And actually, as I was in the car, I settled down. Because I know with other things, and I experienced it with that particular thing, that Spirit meets us when we say yes. When we say, I'm moving forward. When we put that foot out. Remember the Indiana Jones movie, and he steps into the abyss, and the stone comes up and meets him and comes under his foot, and then next time he takes another step and the stone comes up under him, so he does not fall into the abyss. The ground rises to meet him. Spirit rises with us as we step forward, step by step. So getting in the car was a signal to Spirit, we're doing this. We're doing this. So I was stepping out in spiritual authority, even though I didn't feel in my full authority, but I was more authoritative than when I was sitting on the couch trying to compose an excuse not to go. And then when I got there and I sat down, all of a sudden I felt peaceful and relaxed. Everything felt all right. Everything felt good. Everybody welcomed me in. The musicians who were there said hello and introduced themselves, and I introduced myself. And they all gave me hugs, and they were excited I was there. They hadn't seen me before. And so I just got relaxed. I didn't know when Kay and Kent were going to call me up to sing. I didn't know that. And so Kay is doing her thing, and she's singing. And one of my things that always scares me is if there's somebody singing before me and they're doing all these songs, then am I going to sing their lyrics and not mine? When it's my turn to get up and sing? How is this going to go? And I would just spiral down as I'm waiting for my turn to do my thing. And so I had to talk to myself during that time. I said, just relax. When it's time for you to sing, you'll get up, you'll sing, and you'll do your thing. Also, there was no rehearsal. And I hadn't sung with these musicians before. I didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't know how we were ending the song. We hadn't talked about anything. All they knew is what I was going to sing and what key it was in. And we were going to experience this together. And somehow when I got up there and started to sing, it just all worked. And it wasn't just fine, it was great. And I was so thrilled. And we ended the song, and it just went. And then the piano player's apologizing to me. He said, gosh, I didn't know what you were going to do at the end. And we just did that. And why is he apologizing to me? I'm the newbie in the room. He's been doing this for like 50 years. Yeah, but it all worked, and it was all wonderful. And on the way home, I was just, my face hurt from smiling. That's how happy I was to be in that space where I trusted Spirit in a new way with a new part of me that just wanted to come out. And it did that night. That was highly, highly audacious for me. You talk about fearless, because at any time I could have gotten back in my car and gotten the heck out of there. It never occurred to me to do that once I was in there because it just felt like home. So I think when we know that we're called to something higher, not that there is any higher or lower. When we are called to expand, then Spirit is right there in the expansion with us. Right there in the expansion. So think about that. What is it you're called to? And a lot of times we do. For most of my life, I would think of something I've called to do that I have not done before Now I'm thinking about something else I have on my plate this week where I need to get in that mindset. We know we're called to something new and different. We may call it larger. We may think it's bigger than we are, and it may scare the you-know-what out of us. But Spirit is right there. Spirit is in and through everything, in and through us. And so it doesn't matter what you're moving towards. Spirit is waiting for you to take the step, to say yes, so they can rise to meet you as you step forward a step at a time. A long time ago, I talked about that. You take one step at a time. So all I had to do in the beginning was say yes while I'm sitting on my couch having a hissy fit. Then I just got in the car. Then I actually drove there instead of sitting in the car in my driveway and getting back out and hauling you-know-what back in the house. And then I drove there, and then I sat in there, and then I acted like I belonged there, so I'm just introducing myself to musicians that I hadn't met before, like I do this all the time. Hi, guys. Ready to go? And then we're led into discoveries of ourselves and of the divine, trusting the divine in all that we dare to do. And the divine is waiting for us, lifting us, helping us expand, in the expansion with us, creating with us. All of that whole song I sang was a creative moment. God is creator, and together we created that song in collaboration with the musicians who were there, and it went off like a hitch, like we had practiced it. That's what can happen when we say yes, when what we're called to is right here, and we just have to say, I am doing this. This is me. This is me. And walk forward in confidence, knowing that the divine is waiting, and is with you every step of the way. I know the divine was with me in my fear. I know the divine was with me as I'm trying to compose an excuse. And the whole time the divine was saying, we can do this, let's go. I got something waiting for you. I have something waiting for you. Just like the lyrics of that song, come to my table, rest here in my garden. I have something for you. But we have to say yes. We have to step forward. So what's your word for the year? What's your word? What have you been doing with it for the last several months? Have you been paying attention to it? Did you forget what it is? It's okay. It happens. Is it calling you to things that you've never done before? And it should be. If you're seriously in it, if you've committed yourself to it, then there are some things the divine is calling you to and has been calling you to the last several months, and you may sit there going, oh, no. Nope, sorry. Not doing that. Not doing that. That's too much. Or I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later.
My prayer is answered, so we're going to go skydiving.
No, we're not doing that. Spirit is not calling me to jump out of a plane. That I know for sure. At least not yet. I guess never say never. Singing at open mic nights, that is my metaphorical plane that I'm jumping out of. That is enough for me. So what are you being called to? Are you paying attention to the messages And if you aren't, why not? Why aren't you? Because there's always a gift. There's always a gift. So in the last week and a half, I've already done that 3 times. I've been out to an open mic night. Every single time I go, I learn something new, I've met new people, and now there's a community of people that I belong to. And we're now, some of us are Facebook friends, we're messaging each other. I'm going tonight, and some of them are already messaging. You going? You going? I hope to see you there. Are you going? What are you going to sing? This is what I'm singing. And I'm thinking about what is it I want to do, what I want to discover now. And there are people at these evenings who are seasoned, who have been singing for 40, 50 years. And I watch them and I say, I want to be like her when I grow up. I mean, they are singing their hearts out. They are working the crowd. They're working the musicians. They are singing with their whole bodies. And I'm just looking at them saying, all right, right there, that, right there. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. And they're all encouraging. Nobody's naysaying. Nobody's looking at people who are beginners like me and saying, oh, she don't know what she's doing. All of them are applauding everybody. 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 It's beautiful. And I would never, if I had said no to that, I would have missed this beautiful experience, and I would have missed experiencing a part of me that I was unfamiliar with. And so straight into the next morning, I looked in the mirror when I got up and I said, yeah, girl, look at you. Yes. This is what's possible. And I know it's the tip of the iceberg. Tip of the iceberg. Tip of the iceberg. 2 people asked for my phone number. They're like, why don't you have business cards? Like, what? Yeah, I'd like to invite you to sing somewhere. I want to tell somebody about you. The second night, somebody invited me to sing at a benefit concert they're doing. He said, you got to be in this thing. I'm like, okay. Yeah, like I do this all the time. Sure. Sure. Call me. Call me. I wouldn't have had that experience. And even if it doesn't happen, I know there's things out there that are possible for me that I never even dreamed of. And so I'm thinking, what do I want to do musically? What do I want to do? I've wanted to sing. So I was a little girl singing in my basement with the basement door closed because I didn't want anybody in my family to hear me, but they all heard me. That's how long I've wanted to sing like this. And so here it is, a few years later, where it's happening. And it's been a steady progression over the decades. First time I sang in church, when was that, 2002, I was so scared, I was just hoping a plane would hit the building. I thought, something's got to happen so I don't have to do this. My heart was beating so hard, I could see my blouse doing this. It's a wonder I didn't pass out. I was just terrified. And I kept thinking, please, God, make something happen so I don't have to get up and sing this song. And lo and behold, I was up singing the song 24 years ago. And so it's been a steady progression. I've had music, voice teachers who have helped me along the way. And more opportunities to sing. And that'll happen for you when you decide that whatever it is that Spirit is calling you to is yours. And it's time. And the time is now. Not tomorrow, not next week. When Spirit prompts, Spirit is only saying, beloved, you are ready. You're ready. It's already within you. Let's do this. Let's have an experience together. It opens your heart and your mind up to God in a way that even meditation doesn't give you, because it's active. And you're out here in the physical world doing something with the divine that is just blowing your hair back. Do you want more experiences like that? To meet God, have God meet you in a way to bring you to bliss, to bring you to your highest and best, to bring you joy, to bring you peace, to bring you love. So in your seat backs, there are index cards and pens. And so take one out. And if you don't have a word that you chose at the beginning of the year, think of one now, because you probably have something. All of us have something that we are called to. And write your word down. If you don't have one, think of one and just settle yourself and get quiet for a minute. What might that be? Write your word down. And if you chose this in January, I want you to just write a short sentence or two about where you are with that now. Have you been paying attention to it? Have you not? You can even write down, oh, Lord, I forgot. I'm running from it. I'm ignoring it. I've stepped in a little bit, but not much. Be honest with yourself. It's just between you. Or I'm not collecting them. I'm not going to look at them. It's just for you. Where are you with this now? Maybe it's I'm not paying attention. Or I'm fully in. I'm fully in. I'm stepping forward. Every time Spirit calls me forward into this energy, I'm saying yes, and things are happening. Be honest with yourself. And the next question is, where can I go from here? Where can we, if you want to, where can I go with the divine from here? You got 4 more months in the year, if you count from September 1. Maybe 120 days till Christmas. I don't know. Where do you go with the divine from here? Maybe you're already prompted for something you've been hesitating about. What's the next step? What's the next 10 steps, if you dare? Think big. We're living in a world of unlimited possibilities. There's nothing keeping you back but you and your fears. Where can I go from here? And write it as an infinitely powerful spiritual being. Maybe recommit in this moment to living an unlimited life. Living in collaboration with the divine. Living in a way that you've never lived before. Live audaciously. Be fearless about some things. Be steadfast in the next 4 months to walking towards and into your highest and best. There's no limits. You're divine and powerful with all of the energy of the universe at your disposal. And it doesn't matter how little or how much you've done from January till now. Doesn't matter. So if you think the answer to that first question is not good or acceptable, or it's not what you would like it to be, you can even cross it out, knowing that those days are over. That part of you, you can release. Learn from it, and then let it go. Up until now, that's what you were. From this moment forward, I am unlimited. I'm stepping into my spiritual authority, my divine authority. I step forward in full confidence into this energy that I am being called to. I am that already. I am that. I am audacious. And there are nothing but gifts waiting for you along that path of discovery. Nothing but gifts. Gifts that you can't imagine right now. I just thought I was going to go out and sing and maybe have some fun. I got so much more than that. So much more. So much more. Let's take this into meditation. I want you to sit with what you wrote on those cards right now, in this moment. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself know it. Think again. What is that word that chose you, that you chose? Maybe you want to look it up in the dictionary. Maybe you want to explore what that word truly is. Look up the root of the word, maybe. So hold that word in your consciousness now. I want you to just start saying in your heart of hearts, I am, and fill in your word. I am, fill in your word. I recommit to stepping fully and audaciously into this energy, knowing the divine is with me every step of the way. Let yourself be with it. And if you're a little uncomfortable, just start saying yes, 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 Spirit. Yes, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, for calling me forward. Yes. I am. I am. I am. Keep repeating that word. Let that word be your mantra. Let it be that which strengthens you throughout the day. So here in this moment, and feel free to repeat after me either out loud or you can say it silently to yourself. The power of the universe is my power. The wisdom of the universe is my wisdom. The intelligence of the universe is my intelligence. The vitality of the universe is my vitality. The love of the universe is my love. The courage of the universe is my courage. Just breathe and relax. Let yourself be with it. You were already there in pure potentiality. You were already that very energy, or else you would not have been called to it. Say yes. Yes. Yes, and thank you. Nothing but gifts waiting for you along the way. Nothing but gifts waiting for you along the way. More love, more joy, more energy, more vitality, more courage. So much more than you've ever dreamed. Let's take a deep breath together. Exhale. Breathe in again, relax. One more time. In, exhale. Now I'd like you to say with me, and so it is, and so it is. So here in this moment,